It's just a privilege. It's a privilege to be part of Cytoplan. We are a unique organisation. I don't think there's anyone quite like us. Everything we do is based around our principles, our ethics. Our products, change people's lives. We get so much feedback around the positive impact our products have for people. And you get that on a personal basis as well, in terms of friends and family, but also in the fact that the environment that we've created here is an environment which is fast-paced, it's dynamic, it's exciting, but it's got a really good ethical undertone, which is doing things in the right way for the right reasons. So how can you not get excited by that? I'm Dylan. I'm the CEO of Cytoplan. We were always based in Malvern. Pre-Cytoplan, we were Nature's Own, and Nature's Own products were developed for cancer patients, and that was all around it being optimally absorbed, but gentle on the digestive system, because obviously that's a real challenge for cancer patients in the treatment that they're having. And then a little bit later on, as the practitioners came on board buying Cytoplan, Nature's Own bought Cytoplan. We were then started to get, in terms of our products that were more kind of food-based, married with the science, and that's where the nature meets science come from, in terms of the origins of Nature's Own, and then the practitioner base from Cytoplan, to make sure that actually what we were saying about our products was based in science. At Cytoplan, we believe that actually it's about giving people the information to make an educated, informed decision that suits them. We don't believe that you've got to follow one particular route. It's very much a case of, we'll share the information so you can make an informed, empowered decision. Not only are we owned by a charity and all of the money goes to that charity, the charity are invested in Cytoplan and the supplements industry for the long term. It's a case of, we want to be in the industry for a long time, and that means we've got to look after our customers, we've got to look after our practitioners, and we've also got to be a force for good in the marketplace to evolve the marketplace as well, and actually share with as many people as possible the power of nutrition and the power of supplements.
I think people think that when they buy the product and just put the supplement in their mouth, that's where it ends and it just works. And then they're often surprised that, oh, maybe that didn't have the effect I expected. And that's because we really need to understand what happens to the supplement once you've put it in your mouth. I'm Chris Newbold, and I'm the head of clinical nutrition at Cytoplan. Not all supplements are equal at all. There are millions of supplement brands out there and loads of different supplements. I know people get very confused, and I've kind of spent my last 20 years of my career kind of helping people with that. And it means a few things, bioeffective. The one thing it means that's really key is that putting something in your mouth does not mean that you necessarily absorb and use it. I think the way a lot of people take supplements is they hear about a particular nutrient like vitamin D, and they know they need to take that. Maybe they've read it in a newspaper, they've seen it online, I need vitamin D, and they go out and they buy it. And maybe they buy quite a high level of it and take it. And that's kind of fine sometimes, but we know that these nutrients work together, and they work in very specific ways in the body. It's really important that we combine nutrients in the right way, that the proportions of nutrients in the product are correct. And the only way you can really do that is if you understand how the human body works and how these different systems work, which is why I think you need to be a nutritional therapist or an expert in health as well. One of the things we do at Cytoplan really well is take those natural forms of nutrients, but if we need to change them a little in a way that gives the body a helping hand so that it's more gentle or better absorbed, or works really well with another nutrient so that it fulfills its purpose, then we do that. So by putting several things together in a product to make sure it meets its intended purpose, we can do a much more effective job within the body of supporting someone's health. So the way the supplement is put together as well is an absolutely vital part of it being bioeffective. So the modern world is very challenging with stress, with, having to go to work, having to burn the candle at both ends, bring up a family. All these modern challenges people have means that they have more need for certain nutrients as well. I do think that the most powerful thing for people's health is to look at their lifestyle. I do think it's the big problem that people have is diet and lifestyle. But I'm also a realist. And I think that people will do some of that and try to do some of that, and they'll also need a helping hand. So that's why I kind of love supplements, and supplements is my thing. It really is. It's my passion. And that's why, every day I think about how supplements can support people in that journey.
I find that supplements go really well with change of diet, depending on where that person's at the time. So some people come to see me and, they've got not the best diet, so I'm not going to go and give them like 10 different supplements. I'm going to work on their nutrition and add in a few and then build upon that. Yeah, so my name is Annie. I'm a nutritional therapist and I work in private clinical practice. One of the things that led me to working with Cytoplan is the fact that it is very science-led, evidence-based. The formulations are done with that in mind, and they're at therapeutic levels as well. So whether or not it's, a B complex or a multi to more of the adaptogenic herbs, they're all done with kind of science and practitioners in mind. A lot of kind of like the supermarket brands, the forms of nutrients they use are just not going to be that well, absorbed or recognised by the body. And it's not one size fits all for everyone. Everyone is going to be very unique and individual. So it's about kind of looking at their lifestyle and their health and their nutrition and finding the supplements that would fit in with them and is going to support them over the long term. So when clients come to see us, that is the beginning of their health journey a lot of the time, and everyone is at a different stage as well. So I guess it's just mainly focusing on like the pillars of nutrition, obviously the foods that they're eating, supplements to support, their sleep, their stress, any nutrient deficiencies, or just to promote optimal levels of those nutrients so they can feel their best. And then things like lifestyle and emotional well-being is a huge part of it as well. Yeah, and I also support people with getting healthy sleep as well, because obviously that can have such a big impact on their day-to-day health, like from the food choices they make to energy production as well. And a lot of people do come to see me because they are lacking in energy. So I trust Cytoplan because it is practitioner-led. The therapeutic levels of the nutrients in all the supplements, they do work, and I have seen that through myself and through my clients as well. So seeing it in action and seeing that it actually works makes you want to recommend it more. So yeah, that's why I trust the company.
The B Corp element has actually given us the credibility for the type of company that we always thought we were. Like I say, we're a very ethically driven company. We've always made decisions that are based on the right thing to do. And that's actually allowed us to develop products that you probably wouldn't develop in a more commercially orientated company. That's allowed us to make strategic decisions that you probably wouldn't have made in a more commercially orientated company. The culture and the environment that we've got at Cytoplan is pretty amazing, and that's all driven by our people. We've got people that have worked for Cytoplan for a long time, even someone that's worked here since the very first day. I think from a practitioner point of view, they've got to be able to build a huge amount of trust with their clients, with their patients. And therefore they've got to feel really, really comfortable with the supplements that they recommend and the brand that they recommend. And they're going to want that brand to reflect their own values. And I think a lot of people get into becoming a practitioner, a nutritional therapist, because they are very values-based. So B Corp would be on their agenda anyway, and the fact that Cytoplan's now a B Corp, they can feel comfortable recommending that brand as a brand that shares their approach and ethics and values. So I think it's just ratification of what we thought we were and where we were, and hence why we got a particularly high score for B Corp as well.